Hello, welcome to another episode of Cruising with Cheryl and Eric. Today I'm Eric and this is Cheryl.
And I'll be Cheryl tomorrow too, so.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about how we book excursions, what we look for, what we look not for. That's not the right, what am I trying to say?
I have no idea.
What we avoid. And, when we use ship excursions, when we do have...
Wow. Somebody's a little tongue-tied today, people.
A little bit. When we do our own excursions.
Has that effect on people?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, we'll start out with when to book an excursion through the cruise line. A couple of scenarios that we use.
We have encountered.
Yes. All right, you're up. Obviously, I can't talk today. So.
Wow. Okay. So when you want to book through the cruise line is when your excursion is going to be a little bit longer.
In other words, like, say you're on a med cruise and, you're in Rome, or actually technically the ship's port in Civitavecchia, which is about a 90-minute drive from the port to Rome. So if you want to go to the Vatican, if you want to go see the Colosseum, do a tour of Rome, that kind of thing I would do through the cruise line, just because they make sure that you get there and get back. It's their responsibility kind of thing. So
they've pretty much kept abreast of the situations that may arise.
Right. And they have backup plans in place so that, if actually I read an article not long ago, there was a NCL ship that was in Civitavecchia, and the bus broke down on the way back from a tour of the Vatican. Well, the tour company that NCL chartered with, or contracted with, had a backup bus ready to go, so that it only delayed their arrival back to the ship by about 45 minutes, which was still before they were actually supposed to leave. So it didn't cost them, they didn't miss the ship. All right. Wow. I really can't talk today.
I think I'll just take over this.
Okay, you go.
When the activity is risky. Okay, so who really wants to go on a risky excursion?
No, think zip lining, think kayaking, think things that are potentially dangerous. You want to go with a company, with a tour company that has been vetted by the cruise line, that's been proven to have safety standards in place to make sure that they're doing everything in a safe way, so that nobody gets harmed or hurt while they're on this excursion.
Or if you're doing a hiking on Dunn's Falls, for example, in
Dunn's
Jamaica,
River Falls, yep.
If there is a chance that you slip, just make sure that you read the precautionary measures that you should be taking when you're going on these excursions. When your port isn't completely safe. Now, that sounds kind of sketchy. First of all, they're not going to go into a deserted island port, because there's not.
No. Think of
there, but something that you're not used to.
Well, think of areas that are having some civil unrest, areas that are they've seen an uptick in crimes recently.
Street crimes, for example.
Yeah. If you go with a cruise line based excursion, they're gonna...
Your safety is their concern.
Correct.
In a nutshell.
Yes.
But you're on a bus, not a nutshell. But anyway.
Oh,
he can't speak and I can have the jokes. But anyway, when the convenience matters most. Now, if you tend to not want to book with the cruise line vetted, just make sure that you know where you're going, when you have to be back, blah, blah, blah.
Now, do your homework, do your research. If you want to plan your own, nothing wrong with that. We've done it, but it takes a little bit more work on your end. Finding either so when is it time to plan your own shore excursion versus doing the ships? When you want to, if you want to stay close to the port, like you want to go shopping, and you don't want to do an excursion where you spend 4 hours wandering around different monuments and historical sites if all you want to do is go shopping. Okay, so do some research, find a recommended taxi or car service that'll take you just where you want to go.
And the cruise lines will help you with that.
Sometimes, yeah.
They'll suggest that. If not, when you get off at the port, you can ask somebody who's working for the cruise line. You just have to be really careful not to, in some ports, they're really, really pushy about you going into their stores if you just choose to do that. I don't want to throw out names, but it's kind of...
Cozumel was probably the worst.
It's sketchy. Yeah. It's very sketchy. And
guys literally getting right up in your face trying to... they don't actually touch you, but trying to move you into their store. That was not fun.
Yeah. Well, when Ellen and I had to go to Lee's room.
Well, yeah,
and
there you go.
Sketchy as all get out. But anyway, go in pairs. Don't wander off by yourself. If you're by yourself, just be very, very careful.
So if you just need a ride, if you want to stay close to the port, if you're trying to keep the cost down, there are plenty of
ways to do that.
Well-reviewed private excursion companies out there that you can get into contact with who have the similar excursions to what the cruise lines offered, but without the huge ticket price. You want to do Dunn's River Falls just because we mentioned that. I know for a fact that there are companies with 1,000+ 5-star reviews on Viator.com that will get you from your ship to Dunn's River Falls, guide you up the falls, let you play in the pools there, hang out and relax, and then bring you back for a fraction of what the cruise line would charge you. There are plenty of websites out there that you can use to read other reviews from other people who've used these, the tour companies that are not part of the cruise lines, Viator, TripAdvisor, Cruise Critic. There's a lot of them that have personal reviews by people who've used, other companies.
And your travel agent may also have that information.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
There's another reason to do it yourself. You want the excursion done your way. You don't want to, as an example, when we went to Curacao on that ABC cruise, we did an excursion where they took you around to the historical sites, the cultural sites that they wanted you to see. And then the final stop was a rum tasting. Okay. Ooh, yeah. And we had a blast. We loved it. We got to see the highlights. But, if all you want to do is hit, say, the rum tasting or only one or two of the historical sites instead of spending 4 hours on the bus seeing all the different things, you can create your own customized excursion. Hey, I'm going to Aruba and I know I want to see, Eagle Beach and Palm Beach and Williamstad and, this, that, and the other thing. You can find reputable driving services out there. Actually, for people that we met on that cruise, they are into motorcycles and they rented a Harley for the day and basically just rode around the island on their Harley and hit the lighthouse and they did their own thing. If you want your own excursion, your own memories done the way you want, that's when you plan your own.
Yes.
All right. I think we've kind of beat that dead horse a little bit. Finally, let's talk about some tips for the excursion being a success. Yes. Number one.
Do your homework.
Ahead of time. Plan it out. Read the reviews. Talk to other people who've used, who've been on that excursion, who have used this tour company, or, they've been there, done that. Use their experience to help you plan the right one for you.
Yes. Be ready to disembark. Just be ready to get on the ship.
Basically, if you're, if your ship's arriving at 7 a.m. and your excursion, they're taking you, they're leaving at 8 a.m., whether a ship-based excursion or a private one, just be ready to get off that ship the minute that they're going to allow you to, so that you're not late. Um, you know, so
We won't go there.
Yeah, we will. We booked a trip to Chichen Itza on one of the cruises, and let's just say we didn't disembark in time. We
Well,
won't
we
go.
didn't disembark at all.
That's true. Well, it's because we didn't wake up till 9 minutes after we were supposed to leave. But
Somebody got drunk.
yeah, just be ready. Know what time your ship's getting in. Know what time you got to be on the pier. Know it's going to take you 10, 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour if you're tied up to the pier to get off the ship and find where you're supposed to meet for that excursion.
If it looks sketchy, just don't do it. Anywho.
The ship looks sketchy. I don't know. Anyway, next point.
But plan for extra time for tenders. Not chicken tenders, the boats that will get you to the islands.
It takes more time than if you're tied up to the port. Know that in advance. Know it's going to take you an hour, on average. Because you think about it, there's 3, 5, 6,000 people on this ship, 2/3 of which are all trying to get off. The tender ships, the tender boats only carry, 200, 400,
depending
maybe
on what
500.
island you're,
right?
yeah.
No, it's going to take you extra time. If you have an early excursion the day before, find out from guest services how you can get on the earliest tenders possible.
Well, they actually do a really good job with those who have early excursions that are booked through the cruise line.
But only for the ones booked through the cruise line.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's where I was going with that statement. However, I was cut off.
Took you too long to get there.
Really?
Yes.
Says the man I can't speak today. Anywho. But they're pretty honest about it. If your excursion starts at 8 o'clock and you have to be off the ship at 6:30, just plan for it. Lay stuff out the night before, blah, 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 and just be ready to wait.
Next up.
Bring cash. You don't have to bring a lot of cash. You have to be really careful with bringing the cash. Most islands will accept American currency. However, the change back may be in local currency, which can be saved for if you do shadow boxes or memories for a trip, whatever. Small bills.
Yeah.
And
Small bills are important.
You can buy it with people. They're going to try to nickel and dime you, but that's just because that's their.
That's what they're used to. That's their.
Right. That's their livelihood. So small bills.
And bring some extra cash to tip.
Tip your drivers,
your tour director. If they did a great job, give them a little bit extra cash because they don't get paid a whole lot for doing the excursion. They kind of rely on tips. So if they did a great job, give them a great tip.
What? Jinx.
All right, Cheryl, your favorite one's coming up next.
Shave. Don't shave. Do shave, but save the shopping for the end. When you get back from the excursion, most times you'll have time to meander around the port. And you can look for little trinkets. We like to get magnets,
right?
Either for our shadow boxes that I'm behind on, or whatever. A lot of islands will actually give you a coupon to get a free charm, and you can do that. And then again, just save it to the last. You don't want to end up getting lost if you have a later excursion because sometimes they're staggered, whatever. But you're going to have to carry that stuff with you because you're not going to have time to go back on the ship and bring it back.
See, and that's why, to me, I like to do the shopping at the end because I don't want to be lugging that stuff around with me all day.
No. So the next point is leave plenty of time to get back to the ship. So you want to make sure that if you book your own private excursion, that you know what time you have to be on the ship, local time versus ship time. Things like that.
And make sure you don't. If you're on one of the upsides to the ship, the cruise lines excursions is they are obligated. The excursion company, the tour company, is obligated to get you back in time. That's part of their contract. If they don't do it, they're going to never be able to provide a tour to that cruise line again. If you do your own, you're in charge. You're responsible to get yourself back on time.
Yes.
So, make sure you're on ship time. Make sure you leave, at least an hour to get yourself back to the ship.
Yes.
Personally, we like getting back on the ship 2, 3, depending upon when we get there, but like 2, 3 in the afternoon, if we're leaving at 5 or 6, that way we've got plenty of time to come back, have a drink, hit the pool, relax a little bit after walking around all day, and then get ready for dinner and have our dinner.
Yes.
But
what to bring with you on said excursions? It really just depends. Most of the excursions will tell you bathing suit,
Right.
water shoes, biodegradable.
Or reef safe.
Reef safe, not biodegradable.
Sunscreen.
Sunblock.
Sunblock.
Yeah.
Sunblock, sunscreen, same thing.
A hat, a baseball hat to keep your head from burning.
Some snacks,
But you have to be careful with the snacks because you can't bring fruits
Correct.
off of the
Correct.
ship.
Yeah.
Because even though it's already on the ship, they will actually stop you. Some ports actually have, and this is going to sound so weird, fruit sniffing dogs.
Well, because
but
of
they're
the
service dogs and drugs. So there's a little bit of everything. Just a lot of excursions will tell you to bring your towel.
Yeah, bring a beach towel with you.
We actually have a wet bag that we pack, like a dry pair of shorts and shirt.
Right. Especially
towels.
For when we go snorkeling, things like that.
Right.
Bring a reusable water bottle if they'll allow you to take it off the ship. Fill it before you leave. That way you're sure of the quality of the water you're getting.
Yes.
Bring your passport. Always bring your passport. Always, 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 always bring your passport. Bring some cash. We've talked about. Bring your phone for pictures, whatnot. What else? What else? I mean, that's you don't want to be lugging around a full size suitcase with you all day.
Your ship card.
Oh yeah, your CPass card, or or if you're like on Princess and they've got the medallion. But yeah, you need that to get on and off the ship. So you kind of have to bring it with you, otherwise they won't let you off the ship.
Oh, there was one time.
It was me. I had the CPass. I didn't have the passport. I'd forgotten it.
Right.
But they were able to verify that I was on that sailing, and they let me through.
Yeah, they did. And some of them can be intimidating because you have guys standing there in their shacks.
And full these military. Are the immigration people, full military garb with the,
With the machine
M16
guns.
rifle slung across their chest. Yeah, it was a little intimidating,
But you know what? We made it.
Yes, we did. And we'll do it again.
I tried to leave them there, but they wouldn't let me. So there's that. But I
Any
think
last
that's
second?
It. No.
Nothing else?
No, I think we're done for the day.
Remember one thing about excursions. They're for fun. If they're not fun, don't do them.
Yes.
All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
See ya.